My mother destroyed our family with one simple rule: no talking at the dinner table after 6 p.m. It started as a reaction to a joke I made about her haircut, but it quickly became a law that governed our lives. At first, we thought it was a joke. But when my dad tried to talk about his workday at 6:15, she just pointed at the clock and put her finger to her lips. The first few nights were awkward but almost funny, with my sister writing "help me" in ketchup on her plate. Soon the silence spread. She wouldn't answer the phone during dinner, even when it was my grandmother calling. My dad started working late, but I eventually saw him at a local diner just chatting with a waitress because he couldn't speak at home. My sister stopped talking altogether, communicating only through sticky notes on the fridge. Her teachers called home, worried because she hadn't spoken in class for weeks. My mother's response? She extended the silence rule from 6 to 9 p.m. I missed out on the basketball team because she deleted an email about extra practice that arrived during dinner. But the night that truly broke us was when I received a text that my best friend's father had passed away. I gasped and tried to tell them, but my mother just pointed at the clock and slid a notepad toward me. She wanted me to write my condolences instead of calling my grieving friend. My dad finally snapped. They fought that night, and the next morning he was sleeping on the couch. A week later, my uncle rushed in during dinner to tell us my grandparents had been in a terrible car accident. Even then, my mother pointed at the clock. That was the end. My dad left with his brother. My grandfather didn't make it, and the distance between my parents turned into divorce papers. At the custody hearing, I chose my dad without hesitation because at his place, we were allowed to talk. My sister stayed with my mother and developed selective mutism from the years of enforced silence. I later found my mother's journal and learned her own father used to scream at them during dinner. She thought she was protecting us from trauma, but she just created a different kind. Now my mother lives alone, still following her silent dinner rule from 4 to 9 p.m. 5 hours of silence in an empty house. My sister moved out the day she turned 18. My mother didn't even try to stop her. How could she? That would have required talking.